National Science Day is celebrated in India on 28th February every year with great enthusiasm. Actually, the process started in the year 1986 when National Council of Science, Technology and Communication, this organization, gave a proposal to the Government of India to celebrate 28th February as National Science Day. Why this date is very important? Because on this very special day, our Indian scientist Sir C.V. Raman discovered an effect called Raman effect. What is Raman effect? Raman effect studies the interaction of light with the particles. When light interacts with the particles, or the wavelength of the photon changes when it interacts with the rotational vibrational freedom of the particles. So there is exchange of energy. This particular effect is called Raman effect, and with this Raman effect we can study and determine the structure of many molecules, crystals, etc. So it was a remarkable discovery, and on the basis of that, Sir C.V. Raman was conferred Nobel Prize in the year 1930. So that's why National Council of Science and Technology gave a proposal. Why not we celebrate this 28th of February as National Science Day? So from 1987 onwards, this day, 28th February, is celebrated as National Science Day. Now, Department of Science and Technology every year gives us a theme. And on this day, we organize lots of activities. All the science institutes in the country, academia, everywhere, different kinds of programs, different kinds of activities, conferences, workshops, exhibitions are organized. Different talk show, lectures, demonstrations, etc. are organized for the students to popularize science among the youth of the country, to make the youth understand what is the importance of science, to make them aware about the applications of science. We see the gift of science every moment in our life. And this year, in 2026, we have got a special theme. The theme is Women in Science, Catalysing Viksit Bharat. Viksit Bharat means developed India. Right now our country, India, is a underdeveloped country, or we can say developing country. And the leadership wants to transform this developing country into a developed country by the year 2047. And women has a great role to convert this developing country into a developed country. That's why they are giving this theme, Catalysing Viksit Bharat. Women force will catalyze this science and technology. They'll inspire the youth of the country to take up science and technology. Now, if we look at the situation in India, the situation is not very good because there is a huge gender gap. Because if we see the statistics, about 43% women are graduate, but in STEM, that is science, technology, engineering and mathematics, the workforce is only 27%. Very, very low. There is a huge gender gap. Whereas in Europe, it is 47% of women and about 53% men. So it is almost 1:1 or 50-50. But in India, there is a huge gender gap. So in order to balance or minimize this gender gap, to have equal gender ratio, Department of Science and Technology has given this important theme called Women in Science, Catalysing Viksit Bharat. Now, we have lots of examples that women contributed immensely in the field of science and technology. I always share one example that is none other than Madame Curie, who got Nobel Prize twice for the first time. She got Nobel Prize in 1903 in physics, again 1911 in chemistry. She isolated two elements. One is radium. The name radium was given for ray-emitting property. Another one is polonium. The name was given for her native land, Poland. And Madame Curie, she worked on radiation, and she has given the answer for the treatment of cancer. We call it radiotherapy. Unfortunately, she died out of cancer because she was exposed to too much radiation. But apart from that, in India, there are lots of women scientists. If we see the Chandrayaan, or if we see the missile, we know Sir APJ Abdul Kalam is known as the missile man of India. But Dr. Tessie Thomas from DRDO, she is known as the Missile Women of India. Missile Women of India is Dr. Tessie Thomas. And Ritu Karidal, she was the one who was a project director in Chandrayaan-2. Similarly, Muthaiya Binita, she was a project director in ISRO for soft landing of moon mission, that Bikram, Chandrayaan-3. So like that, many women has had a remarkable history in our Indian culture. If we look at the northeastern scenario, many scientists have contributed immensely. Like one, Ashima Chatterjee. She's from Assam. She has done lots of research on phytochemicals. She has isolated lots of phytochemicals and developed the medicines for epilepsy, cancer and other diseases. Like our Garo Hills. Garo Hills is rich in biodiversity. It is a hotspot in biology. So our young scientists, young students can take up this research. Lots of research is required in this field, in these phytochemicals and medicinal plants, because we have the traditional values. If you look at Achiksam, that works really like miracles in many diseases, but not much research are taking place in this kind of field. So this is an option for the young students, young scientists to take up these phytochemicals or the medicinal plants of Garo Hills, to take up as a research project and carry on. And they can isolate the molecules and they can find out the structure and they can contribute something in the research field. In northeastern state, mainly the research is taking place in the labs of IIT Guwahati or Northeastern Hill University or ICAR Research Complex or Assam Agricultural University. These are the institutes. So a student has to complete his graduation, his or her graduation, thereafter post-graduation, then they can appear examinations, all India basis examinations like NET, GATE, all these. They can, or after graduation, they can go for GEM test, join admission for masters, they can take admission in IIT. So they can take up research, because this is the need. Only if we contribute in research and technology, then only we can convert our India into a developed country by the year 2047. There are many other scientists, like from Meghalaya, Dr. Marlene Kharbi. She contributed significantly in the study of insect biodiversity and environmental conservation. So there are many scientists, but actually what is happening in our northeastern region, students are not taking up science, especially in Meghalaya. Students are not very interested in science and mathematics, but they have to appear many competitive examinations to get admission in IITs or to become scientists in organizations like ISRO, DRDO or BARC or ISER. There are many scientific organizations they are taking up, and they can take up this scientist or science as their career. So this National Science Day, let us pledge to ourselves that we'll contribute something in nation building so that India become a developed country by the year 2047. And at present another trend is coming up, like artificial intelligence. Coding has become now a bit backdated. Now artificial intelligence has taken the center stage. So that's what we feel, that through science and technology only we can convert our India into a developed country by the year 2047, and that is the goal. So there are many women scientists, like I can name another great woman scientist, that is Nigar Shaji, who is leading the project director in Aditya, that is solar mission studying the sun and pioneering in space mission like ISRO. This is first time India has taken up this mission for sun. No other country has taken up. And India already has become a superpower in space science, because it's almost like competing with NASA. So it is a great achievement in the space of space and technology. So through this we can earn lots of revenues, and we can convert our country, transform our country into a developed nation. Thank you.